I can still hear the laughter echoing in my mind, those cruel, dismissive sounds that haunted my every step when I first dared to dream. They told me I was wasting my life, that my aspirations were nothing but foolish fantasies. My family, the people I loved most, turned their backs on me, their eyes filled with contempt when I announced I wanted to become an artist. They mocked my sketches, ridiculed my passion, and called me embarrassing for chasing a ridiculous dream. It hurt more than I ever let on. Deep down, I wondered if they were right. Maybe I was wrong to believe I could make it. Maybe I was naive, chasing after shadows that would forever elude me. But something inside refused to die, an ember of hope, stubborn and fierce. I decided to leave home, to prove them wrong not just to them but to myself. The road wasn't easy. Every step was fraught with doubt, every rejection a fresh wound. I endured nights of loneliness, days of struggle, pouring my soul into my art, determined to carve out my place in the world. I worked tirelessly, honing my craft, battling insecurity, and fighting to stay afloat in a sea of doubt. Every no I received was a blow to my confidence, but also a catalyst to push harder. I held onto a single belief, that I was destined for more. Years passed. My art began to find its voice. Small galleries, local expos, online platforms, each step, though timid and fraught with vulnerability, built my confidence. Slowly, I gained recognition. My work resonated with people, evoking emotions they couldn't quite explain. The relentless persistence paid off. My name started appearing in conversations, exhibitions, and eventually, I landed a major commission. I broke through the barriers that once seemed impenetrable. One day, I looked in the mirror and saw someone I barely recognized, an artist who had defied the odds, who had turned her pain into power. I had made it. Not just professionally, but emotionally, spiritually. I had proved to myself that my dreams mattered, that my voice was valid, even if the people who once mocked me refused to see it. And then, I decided it was time. Time to go back. To face those who had once dismissed me, to show them what I had become. I booked a ticket, packed my best dress, and headed home with a heart pounding, part anticipation, part nervousness. I knew the moment I stepped into that familiar house, everything would change. The drive was a blur of memories and doubts. As I approached my childhood street, I saw the old oak tree in the yard, now towering and proud, just like I'd become. My heart clenched. I was about to show them the story they had dismissed as impossible. I parked outside the house. It looked unchanged from the outside, still the same weathered walls, the same flower beds, but I knew beneath that surface, everything had shifted. I took a deep breath, stepped out of the car, and straightened my shoulders. Inside, the house felt small and suffocating. My family was gathered in the living room, their faces turning as I entered, initially surprised, then wary, then incredulous. They looked at me as if I was a ghost from a distant past, a reminder of their doubts and dismissiveness. "I'm home," I said, voice steady but echoing with emotion. Silence filled the room before my father finally spoke, voice tinged with skepticism. "You look different, you've changed." "I've grown," I replied, my eyes locking onto theirs. "And I've achieved something you said I never would. I'm not the girl you mocked anymore. I'm an artist, someone who makes a living doing what she loves." I saw the flicker of recognition, perhaps surprise, maybe even a hint of pride, flashing across their faces. But they didn't say much. Instead, I took a step forward and headed straight into the studio I had set up in the corner of the house, an extension of my journey, my pain, and my triumph. The room was filled with my paintings, each one a testament to resilience. Bold colors, raw emotion, stories told through brushstrokes. I had poured everything into those canvases, the sleepless nights, the doubts, the victories. As I looked around, I realized that this was my redemption, my declaration that I had beaten the odds. Then came the moment I had envisioned for years, a quiet, powerful confrontation. I turned to face my family again, standing tall amidst my art. "You see this?" I gestured to my work. "This is my truth." I was mocked, belittled, told I was embarrassing. But I didn't listen. I fought for my dream, and now look at what I've become. Their eyes flickered with a mixture of awe and discomfort. My mother's hands trembled slightly, my father's jaw clenched as he looked away. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, I spoke again, voice calm but unwavering. "I'm here to tell you that your doubt nearly broke me. but I turned that pain into something beautiful. I proved that chasing your dreams isn't foolish, it's necessary. And I want you to know that I don't regret a single moment of the struggle, because it made me who I am today. In that quiet power, I felt everything I had fought for, every rejection, every betrayal, every tear, culminate into a single truth: I was enough. I had risen from their dismissal, from their mockery, and I had made a life that reflected my soul. They looked at me then, really looked at me. Not with skepticism, but with the recognition that I had become stronger than their words, that I had turned their doubts into my victory. As I turned to leave the room that had once been a place of doubt and ridicule, I felt a profound sense of peace. I had returned not just as an artist, but as a woman who refused to be defined by anyone else's limitations. I had fought to prove that my dreams were worth fighting for, and I had won. Walking out that door, I knew that no matter what came next, I had already claimed my victory. I had faced the darkness, and I had emerged into the light, more powerful, more fearless, and undeniably, unapologetically myself.